Good morning, Internet. Good morning. It's Monday, the 6th of March, and it's a very cold morning in the shed. I've not got the heating on. I've got a hoodie on. I did attempt to do a video, but it all screwed up on the sound. So hopefully the sound's okay now. So I've hit the stream button instead. Maybe people jump in the chat. I don't know. But if they do, then I may read out some of their comments. I may not. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon if you're watching this somewhere else in the world. Good evening, I guess, if you're somewhere else. But I don't normally do a stream at this time of day. Certainly not planned to do this. I felt like I wanted to because Steve-O informed me this morning that he will be touching on the subject. It's quite a serious subject today. And this is not going to touch much on FPL. If you're here to watch about purely FPL, then you may be wanting to just tune out or go somewhere else. Just, Nymphrya has shut off her Twitter. She's closed a Twitter account due to comments, trolls, hate, crap that's been given to her. From an FPL point of view, Nymphrya, we don't talk on a regular basis. In fact, Nymphrya, for me, we played some Warzone in lockdown. We talked over lockdown. She's been doing this for many years now. She was one of the earliest, one of the first, it may be the first female FPL content creators that was willing to stick their head above the parapet, so to speak, from an FPL point of view, start talking about FPL and discuss her teams and grow a community. Quite disgusted to see that once again, this is not the first time. I don't believe that she's been susceptible to a tirade of abuse over her FPL team, maybe even other things. I don't know, but she's felt the need to delete her Twitter account, which is shocking because she's a nice person, a very nice person. Every interaction I've had with her in the past, she's a genuine, lovable person. Doesn't deserve that. I just wanted to call out the trolls and the idiots that are out there who feel that is acceptable in any way, shape, or form. FPL is a game where you can have a rivalry, you can have fun, you can have banter between people, but when, like the advert says, when the fun stops, you need to stop. So, sometimes in the Discord, we have people that have gone a step too far and they've made people feel crap, and maybe even quit the game. And I've titled this, this video title is "When Did We Stop Caring?" As a father of a 5-year-old girl, who I took her to school this morning, seeing how a 5-year-old mind works and how she cares about her fellow class members if one member of the class falls over, hurts themselves, or is feeling bad or gets upset, she will feel for that person. She will have the empathy and the sympathy. And I think human beings are born with that nature to them, of having that sort of element of sympathy and empathy for your fellow human being. But somewhere along the line, a lot of people in society now, that just gets removed from their minds. How many people suffer hate, abuse, bullying on a daily? I mean, yes, school is full of bullying. I understand that. And at certain points in school, you will get children that bully others, but it's always has been the minority. It's always a minority of people that are bullying, that stand out, and they can affect the whole class. They can affect a larger group of people. But I guess where I'm going with this is that, it's not acceptable. I'm going to call it out. I find it sickening. And if Nymphrea, I mean, she's not going to watch this, but if she does, then I hope you come back. We need more female content creators. We need more women that step up and are providing content in a male dominated space. I mean, it's no surprise that when we do call-ins or when we invite members up or to come and talk to us, that we have almost zero. Okay, we got Blonde, but she doesn't come on. And like, I really, really want to say, like, this is just, it's unacceptable. Like, it's unacceptable that the FPL community should stand by and be okay with this. No one should be made to feel bad. No one should be made to feel insignificant. No one should be driven to the force of deleting their Twitter account over a decision, whether it is a decision to wildcard, or whether it's a decision to play X player over Y player. Like, me and Steve-O, we have backwards and forth. Like, we have a rivalry. But I would never go out of my way to make Steve-O feel shit about himself. And if I did say something, or I felt that I went over the line, and I came close to it when we did the live stream about his wildcard, I was shocked. But I care about Steve-O's frame of mind, his mental health, his well-being. And I think that, we get so attached to this game that you are your own worst critic anyway. So if you're at a bad game week, you criticize yourself anyway. You are beating yourself up. You're basically angry of making a mistake, but then you've got someone else that's just basically pouring salt in the wound or fuel on the fire by calling you out or making you feel like crap. It's just, come on. I mean, this community isn't the biggest in the world. The Elite FPL community is a relatively small community, and I like it that way. I like the fact that we don't get, like, our members. I know all of our members. I know the faces. I see the faces in the chat now. I recognize the names. I care about people in our community. I've met people in our community. Social media can be a good thing. Don't get me wrong. Social media can be a great thing. It can connect people. I mean, certainly from FPL, it's connected me to people. It's certainly from a crypto point of view, I've connected through to people across the world that are interested in the same interests as I'm interested in through social media. I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for social media. But social media allows trolls and harassment and bullying to exist 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you don't call it out and you don't call it for what it is, then we are literally going to have, a landslide of just shit, essentially. Going back to my daughter, like, where is the world going to be in 15 years' time? If it's not radioactive, what is society going to look like? We're already becoming further and further apart. Like in the 80s, in the 90s, you used to have parties in the street. Neighbors used to come out, used to bake cakes and have gifts, in exchange and celebrate being a community of people, being human beings that give a shit about each other. Now we are so we're so insular. We're so, and I'll put my hand up. I'm one of those people. Like, I don't go on social media that much, and I don't tweet about how I feel or what I think that much. And when I do, I generally don't expect any comments, or if I do, I generally don't want any replies. I'm just literally giving my thoughts and giving my feelings to the world, like I'm doing now. Like, if this video doesn't get any replies, so be it. I've just had a rant. I want to have a rant about this because, someone has felt, in this case, Nymphrea, but not just Nymphrea. Many people out there are made to feel like crap on a daily basis. Life is tough. Life is shit. Life is hard. Nobody out there has an easy life. Like, I don't care about this. These people that go on Instagram, they've got, yachts, they've got, all the latest clothing, they've got smiles on their faces. Believe you me, they are not living a completely happy life. And I mean, life is tough. Some people realize that sooner than later. The one thing that you can do, one thing that you have control of, and the power that you have as an individual, is the way that you treat others. And it goes back to qualities in life and like qualities in school. Like in school, I was taught, and I think a lot of kids, and you may be taught the same, treat other people the way that you want to be treated yourself, and make people feel good about them. Like what's wrong? Like if you're in a supermarket, like I was in a supermarket the other day, I had a full trolley of food. Okay. The person behind me had like 4 items. I said, dude, you go first. It made their day. They're like, oh, thank you so much. And acts of kindness, whether that's opening up a door, whether that's just helping somebody, if you see someone struggle, helping someone, just even if it just means sending someone that that's not having a great time at the moment, a message asking them, are they okay? Just little tiny things, just acts of kindness, acts of nicety that can change someone else's life. I mean it, guys. It could save people. Like it could save, getting personal now. A very, very close friend of my brother-in-law and sister, he was going through shit. Nobody knew about the shit he was going through. One day he's there, next day he's gone. Financial issues, relationship issues, bullying, abuse, stress. It surrounds us. And it will consume and eat away at you. And my wife's colleague at work, again, someone that had a smile on their face literally a few weeks ago. This is really fresh. A couple of weeks ago, my wife is really affected by it. One day he's there, next day he's not. And he's never going to be there again. I think sometimes, we watch, you see human beings, we take pleasure out of other people's misfortunes. Like you look at the videos online, like you watch the videos online of people getting hurt, getting injured. You watch the You've Been Framed, the Jerry B. Beadle videos where like people used to fall over off a rock and break their leg or twist their ankle or seriously hurt themselves. And the first thing you do is you laugh, right? So there is definitely something there where in the human psyche that we tend, sometimes we take pleasure out of other people's misfortune because we have our own misfortunes. And, Dan's in the chat and he's hitting the nail on the head. Men and women and whoever, we all have ways of dealing with issues, and I think it's getting better for men. I think Dan's brought a good point up about being able to speak to people, being able to speak. Like if you've got issues, if you're not feeling good about something, you need to be able to speak to someone, and everyone should have someone that they can talk to. And for so long, people are like, oh yeah, just man up, deal with it. But man up and dealing with it is why families get broken apart and why children end up having a broken home. And, it's no coincidence that society being pulled further apart and relationships getting fractured and social media becoming this sort of status thing that everyone has to conform and be popular and be a certain way is destroying the fabric of society in a negative way. Yes, there's good things about social media, and going back to Nymphaea, and this will not be the first time that she's experienced hate and abuse from members of the FPL community. And it's bloody bang out of order, and it needs to be called out. If you see someone that's doing something or making someone feel like shit, call them out. Call them out. Because I can guarantee you, for every one troll comment and harassment comment that was on her profile, 10, 20 people looked at that comment and just kept on browsing. And they didn't say anything about it. The truth of the matter is, there's a lot more good people in the world than there is bad people in the world. But the bad people in the world, they're the ones that stand out because they're the ones that generally scream. They're the ones that make the impact. They're the ones that affect others. And that's why, it stays in the memory of that person that's being affected. Hey, Tezza. Hey, Adam. 7 Up. Yeah, funny. Not going to be talking much about FPL right now. Mark Chapman says social media is designed to be toxic, encourages controversy, and life is hard because we're living in a world of debt. Better times are ahead, but this is a tough time. Well, you say better times are ahead, but we are cost of living crisis, government debt, country debt. It's growing. It's spiraling out of control, and future generations are going to be paying that debt off. There will be better times. I agree. But we've got to remember that Gravy Dave's right. Abusing someone online for a free game on the internet. What a joke. People need to grow up. Yeah. People need to grow up. People need to have a think about what their words and actions, your actions and behavior, and how that affects other people online. And if you're one of those people that laugh and joke about other people and want to troll, then you need to you need to grow up, and you need to have a long, hard look at yourself and the way that your conduct, how it affects other people. Just gonna read the comments. Anyone that makes content online, I mean, some people will be like, yeah, they put content out there, they deserve to be criticized. And I'm not saying don't criticize. I'm not saying don't criticize decisions, and certainly, if you're putting yourself online and you're inviting commentary, then of course not everyone's going to give positivity back. There's going to be criticism. As long as it's positive, criticism's good. Criticism could be a good thing, whether it be like, oh, your mic was a bit quiet. Like we laugh about it. We joke about it, but like technical issues are an issue, like a thing. Or, the lighting, like for right now, the lighting's shit in here. But I don't care about that too much. All I care about is making sure that, my feelings are heard, whether you like to hear it or not. I want to put across my point of view, and my point of view is that as a community, we should stand together and look after each other. From a point of view where have our rivalries, have our, banter that you would expect to have in a pub or in a football ground, but just when it gets to the point of causing someone, emotional despair, or and questioning whether they should even be on social media, then we need to call it out. As a community, we need to stand together. We should deal with it, and we certainly need more women in FPL, and we want to make sure we want to make sure that we can have an environment where anyone, no matter their race, gender, can feel like they can be heard. And it's a serious topic. It's a serious topic. And that's why I'm doing a video at this time of day, because I would normally talk about anything. I wouldn't talk about anything at this time of day. I wouldn't be streaming at this time of day normally. But it's, act like grown-ups, be there for others, and and just be genuinely a good human being. Is what my words to the community that are out there that may be watching this, that may be thinking, oh, you know what? You know, he's just being a snowflake. You know, you need to man up. You need to deal with it. It's just football. You know, it's just banter, mate. It's just banter, bro. Well, yeah, but there's banter, and then there's being a complete and utter dickhead. And when people start to say, "Hang on a minute, you're going a bit over, you're crossing the line here. You need to stop." But Nymphrea, if you do get to watch I'm not expecting her to watch this. Certainly, I know Steve-O's commented on it as well. But if you do hear this, if you find out about this video, I hope you come back, purely because, you know, you're a good person and you shouldn't feel the need to remove yourself from social media because of a very vocal minority of people. And it always is a minority of people. It's always a small group of people. But yeah, next time you see someone saying something nasty to someone else, just be brave and call it out. Don't just be okay with it. Like I said, for every one bad negative comment, dozens of people scroll past it. But it may just make the difference if you call it out. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off. Like, we should be talking about football. We should be talking about the game week. Yeah, you may have had a shit week. Doesn't mean you need to make someone else feel like shit. And that's another thing, right? That's another thing I noticed with like certain elements of the community. If they've had a shit week, they're going to go out their way to make someone else feel like shit. And you know what? I think that has a negative impact on that person as well. And like, if you do something good for someone else, whether in the past, I've helped someone else out, and afterwards I feel really good. I feel really good. It doesn't cost me anything, you know? Well, I'm not talking about necessarily on social media or in digital world. I'm talking about in real life, like just helping someone else out. Afterwards, like, I've done something really small, but I felt really good about myself afterwards. And I think like that's a really good way of just like cleansing the soul, of just like just doing something nice, an act of kindness. Doesn't have to be something big. Just be there for someone else. Be there, open the door. If you see someone struggling, help them out. If you've got a lot of shopping on your trolley and you've got someone behind you with 3 items, just give them, just say, hey, go ahead, go first. Be a good person. And it makes you feel good about yourself because you've done something nice to someone else. And like, I hope you watch this video and you take it the way I hope it's intended. And that is, you don't need to suffer in silence. If you're feeling shit, if you've got people giving you crap, there's a lot of people out there that care about you. And there's a lot of people in the community, and I know in the Elite FPL community, that have formed very strong, positive relationships and friendships. Like I said, I didn't know Nymphrea very, very well. I spoke to her a few occasions. I played in lockdown, played a few games of Warzone with her. We've done content in the past together. I don't want to see her off of social media. I don't want to see her stopping making FPL videos. I'm rambling now. Banter can go over the top. Should be limits. Some people do not have limits. Yeah. Although I genuinely think people don't realize. A lot of the time, people don't realize the effect that what they say on social media and even in real life. I don't think they realize what an effect it can have on someone else. If someone's having a really bad day, like, you don't know what's going through. You don't know what that person's gone through that day. it could have been a really bad day for that person, and then you've just gone out your way to make a real snidey remark or negative, like a real trolly, hateful comment. You could be like that one bit that sends them over the edge. Bullying is serious, guys. Bullying is really serious, and we should all do a bit to eradicate it where possible. Okay, I'm rambling. I think I've got my point out. This is a problem with live streams. I don't really know. I don't know where to go from this. Very serious topic. Thank you for tuning in. Look after each other. Tell someone that you love them, as Tim the Tapman would say. No, but seriously, be kind. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. All right? It doesn't cost anything. And if you're having a shit day and you're not feeling happy about yourself and you do something nice, it might make you feel a lot better about yourself. Take care.